Some of these confessions are real sins. I hope you enjoy. Starting with, I once shit on my chair because I couldn't make it to the toilet and let it sit there for 3 days. Until I got curious how much it weighed, and it was like 2 pounds. Bro, you picked up your 3-day-old shit just to weigh. Please tell me you at least used a napkin at least. I always go to the disabled people toilet at public places because they're a lot cleaner and rarely occupied. I mean, who's gonna stop him? I used to eat fresh hot paper from my dad's printer as a kid. I remember really liking it, and it was a little sweet. This deadass made me want to try it. I once flooded my elementary girls' bathroom. I nearly set fire to my house while cooking, and my parents and siblings were eating out. I stuck a butter knife into my outlet to try and get the piece of a broken charger block out, and it sparked and I shocked myself. I once dropped a glass cup on my foot and now have a permanent scar on my toe before my pinky toe. I pulled a dresser down on my head when I was 2 to 3 years old, busted my head open, 5 stitches. I was stacking my books and they fell on my head. I was holding my 1-year-old brother on the closed seat lid and he pulled on the scaffold behind me and lots of metal and plastic containers fell on my head. I have bruises that pop up out of nowhere, most likely from me running into things. For a school field trip we went to Washington, D.C. and I was at George Washington's house and then went into the gift shop museum. There was a model of his house. I ran head first into the glass. It was so clean so I wasn't able to see it. I was tossed with little foam football outside with one of my brothers. I ran to catch it, slid and ate the road with my hand, got gravel in the cut, didn't get though. I'm convinced I'm immortal or have an extremely high pain tolerance. That's not a good combination with me, a person who is impulsive and has ADHD. This man needs to be stopped ASAP. I'm contacting the FBI about this. No doubt this user is special. But wait for next. My friends and cousins and me were playing and seek once. I was already being excluded because I used to have TB and they thought I was sick still and they could get TBBC. I used to have it. But they allowed me to play along, and the one who lost wasn't allowed to play along anymore at all for the rest of the day, so I had to win. So I went to the guest bedroom where there was this bed bunk. I went on the top one and went to hide under the blanket. I was so sure I'd win. BC, it was super dark and the door was closed, until light spilled in and I got scared. Then the door closed again and I heard creaking of the stairs, so I moved more towards the corner of the bed and tucked myself in more. This boy came under the blanket, a friend of my brother's. He smiled at me before tucking himself in as well. Then he began to touch me, kissing my arm as he did. And instead of saying something, I kept quiet. BC, I really wanted to win. I want to compliment girls, but I am afraid they are going to accuse me of sexual harassment. I used to chew and suck on seatbelts when I was extremely young. Punched a kid in the back of his head in 2nd grade and told the teacher that it wasn't me and blamed another kid. When I was in preschool I used to wet paper towels and throw them at the bathroom walls and ceiling. I thought it was hilarious how they stuck. For some reason the teacher thought that instead of being wet from I had pissed on the towels, so she had to bring me into the hall and ask not to throw my peed on toilet paper. She also told my parents. Nobody believed me. It was just water. I am not a psychopath. Tasted my own nut before. Daniel, I still have your Charizard. I didn't lose it. F for Daniel in the comment.